Now, working with the camera setting on screen here under the camera tab, I just want to caution you on this one thing here. If you've noticed while I was moving around, I have the little hand icon, which actually indicates that I can move this frame around the screen like so. So I just want to see what happens if we were to do that. Now, remember that the camera itself is actually very, very small, very tight on the actor, and the frame is moving around the screen. So let's just see if this has any consequence to start with. I'll hit play. And right now doesn't seem to be anything that's different. I'll just go all the way to the bottom, and if I keep going here, yeah, everything seems to be the same as when that frame was in the bottom corner. But I have seen things happen with this before, so I'm going to show you here if we open up the gates, if you will, the camera parameters to very wide and hit play again. Let's see if something changes here. And it does. You see how it's cutting parts of the scene off, and specifically on the left right now. But if we go down to the bottom, I suspect we get a similar kind of response. Now I can see a sliver of the wall. I can't see any of the floor right now. So that's something to be aware of if you happen to move this frame. Now I know I can at some point probably find those elements, and I'll go in sort of dramatically here in steps. And I'm still cutting that off. Let's see if we got the floor back here, or any of the floor. Yeah, the floor actually got captured, so I could fool around and kind of inch my way or micrometer my way across to find that threshold if it mattered. But in this case, let me just move these farther, more extreme. It seems like now it's not being affected, but for some peculiar reason, when this gets moved around, and I'm not really certain what the advantage would be to move that around unless you wanted to do some of these effects that we saw, you will have some subtle cutting off on the edges if these are set in a specific area. Now if I just drag this all the way back, it does snap to that bottom left corner, so I would suggest just making sure that it's always there. We're never going to really have a need to move this for any of our assignments, but I wanted to bring that to your attention because if it accidentally happens, and I'm sure it will happen with somebody, that you can just drag that back. That's your remedy, and just set this as you would have set it originally. Okay, so just again moving the frame around for the camera, just something to be aware of. It can be moved, and in certain situations certain negative things may occur as a result. Okay, so if it does move, just drag it back to the bottom left corner, and everything should be as predicted, or predictable if you will. Okay, so my little cautionary tale on the camera settings.